Now that all the chalk's in, we can put the stabilizing jacks down. We lower them down also on the blocks of wood. These help to cut down on shaking inside the RV. Straighten out this piece of wood a little bit before it gets down on it. There we go. And all I'm doing is hitting the extend button up here and down there. And once it's set, we don't really have to do anything. We don't want to elevate it anymore because it's already level. So the X chocks are in with the regular chocks. We got a big storage here. In a moment or a little bit we'll pull out the rugs and chairs and stuff. So right now the RV is level on all sides and stable because we've got the chocks in and the stabilizer jacks down. And so now Stephen is setting up the electric, which we have 50 amp, but we do have a converter to 30 in case we go to a campground that only has 30. We can adapt it from 50 to 30. So it's very simple. Let me come around. It just plugs in on this end right there, and then you turn the black seal.
Now it's locked in.
It's locked in. And then we're actually very close to the box here. So a lot of times they have the fuse off. So you need to shut it back on or turn it back on. They happen to have it on here, it looks like.
You can turn that off first.
But we're going to shut it off before we plug in and then turn it back on again.
Now we also have a surge suppressor right here.
Can I turn this up?
Yeah, go ahead. Now you can hear, you see the green lights and the blue lights. That means that we have a steady electrical current into the RV. If these were red, then we would have an issue and we'd have to shut everything down. If you guys buy an RV, make sure you get a surge suppressor. If you have a 30 amp unit or a 50 amp, get a surge protector. It's a good investment so that you don't blow out the electrical in your RV.
So at this site, all we have is electric and water. We don't have sewer. We're going to have to use the tank on the way out. We have to use the septic tank on the way out to dump the black tank.
And that's a video for another day.
Yeah, but for right now, we're just going to set up the water. As you can see, the dogs are enjoying the shade while we get set up.
And what we also do on the water is we get a water filter, and you get a white hose designated just for your fresh water tank. We also have a water gauge. So again, this is just stuff that you learn and read about, but you don't know what the pressure is coming out of that faucet. And this is set for 35 to 40 psi. I'm sorry, 20 to 30 psi. So that way, that force of energy won't ruin the
lines,
everything inside. So another tip that someone gave me on our first trip to North Carolina. It was a Marine, ex-Marine or a Marine, retired Marine, and he said to buy a valve like this because you're going to have another hose hooked onto this, and instead of disconnecting and connecting, which I did on our first trip, he gave me the advice of buying one of these so you could always have your clean water hooked up all the time, and also have a spare hose hooked up as well.
For the outside.
Exactly. Yeah.
Put on the water filter pressure. It's both a pressure regulator and a filter. Once the water's hooked up, then we'll go inside and open up the slides. On that note, one thing we made sure of was that we have enough room between the box here and the RV, because when we open up the slides, we have to make sure that there's enough room so you don't crash your slide into the box.
And so what we do there is Heather will be inside and she handles the controls, smart man. And then I stay out here and I make sure that if there's an issue, I tap on the side of the RV to tell her to stop.
So then the hose, and this is for the inside water like showering and drinking and the sink and all that, and that plugs right into there. As you can see, it says city water connection. So when you're at a campground, we're at a state park right now, that's what you want to be able to use. It bypasses the tanks, is that right?
Yep.
Bypasses the tanks and goes right into the sink or shower. And,
whereas if
toilet.
we want to go and fill that up, we have tanks here that all I have to do is switch these two and it would fill the tanks in here, both for the shower and the sink.
If we're
I think we have 40 or 60 gallons of capacity, but we don't use those because we hook up right to the hose.
Right.
This is our extended 50 amp, but then we also bought a 30 to 50 amp converter, just in case if this site was a 30 amp, we'd plug that in and then plug our power cord into this, and it would convert it from a 30 amp to a 50. So,
all right.
And that's it.
We're going to go inside and open up the slides. Steven's going to stay here and make sure we have enough clearance for the box.
Exactly.
See you inside.